So welcome back everyone, this is where we left you at the last video. This is Wappenshall Junction, where the Shrewsbury Canal met the Newport Canal. If you didn't check out our last video, go watch that first, because we just covered the Newport Canal, which is down that way towards Norbury Junction. And today we're going to be doing the Shrewsbury Canal, aren't we?
Yep, we're going to do, well, part of it, aren't we?
Yeah, because the Newport Canal was built in 1835, because before that the Shrewsbury Canal was its own isolated canal. That went to Coalport, Telford, all that area, and to Shrewsbury, which was built in 1797. And this is where they joined. So we're going to explore this really nice junction here and walk, and they're actually doing a lot of restoration work here. That we can see new rings they put in, they're digging out the channel. It's really great seeing some actual progress being made. But what a fantastic place.
Yeah, and the weather's, well, the sun's shining.
It's a bit windy.
It's a bit windy, as you can see, a bit cold, wrapped up. Well, Josh isn't, but I am.
So yeah, join us, because today we're going to see the surviving iron aqueduct.
Yes.
Oh,
so keep watching, guys.
Alright, see ya.
If you're wondering why we didn't explore the southern network of the Shrewsbury Canal, well, there's a lot of it, because it goes to all the coalfields around Telford and all that lot, and there isn't a whole lot left. But unfortunately we didn't have time to really explore. There was a few locks and an inclined plane that we really wanted to go and see, but unfortunately time was against us. In 2008, the Shrewsbury and Newport Canal Trust submitted a planning application to prevent the owner converting the buildings into residential use, which would have destroyed their heritage value, historic integrity, and prevented restoration for use as a canal. The junction was on the land owned by the Leeson-Gower family, Dukes of Sutherland, one of the wealthiest families in England. The Sutherland estate commissioned the canal engineer and architect James Shrewsbury to establish a wharf in the angle between the two canals. Initially, a two-storey warehouse with a cast iron stub crane was constructed, but from 1844 it was supplemented by a much larger three-storey warehouse built above an arm of the canal. Goods could be lifted by pulleys from the hulls of the canal boat to the upper floors. Because of its historic importance, Telford and Coalport Council purchased Wappenshall Wharf in 2009 and granted a lease to the Shrewsbury and Newport Canal Trust for 125 years to maintain and restore the derelict buildings. And finally in 2018 the physical restoration began, and volunteer work parties work here every Friday and Saturday. This will one day be the visitor centre for the canal. This was once an old swing bridge, and one day it will be again. There's not a lot between Wappenshall and Sleepfoot, but in Sleepfoot is this random canal bridge and a tiny little bit of water underneath it before it gets to this A road. As you can see, there's this random Sleepfoot canal that goes through this park here, and I'm guessing the park preserve it as a feature.
So we're on a random little tiny bit of isolated in-water canal here, and it's very weird because it's in the middle of a, what do you call it, like a...
It's like a mobile home park.
Yeah.
And they're building all, you've got all the little electricity things all ready because they're building new homes here.
No, I think they're for camper vans. But we're in, Sleepfoot. Just saw the little bridge down there by itself, a tiny little bit of water underneath it, and then the A442, I think it is, crosses over the canal, which we have to build a bridge for, obviously. But yeah, random little isolated canal we stopped off and saw to have a little look at in a little place called Sleepfoot, randomly here. Don't know why, but it is. Probably something to do with this park here. Here we go, guys, Longdon-on-Tern Aqueduct. You may be wondering why both ends are made out of brick and why the whole thing isn't made out of brick. Well, originally it was. It was designed by William Coles, but unfortunately it was swept away by floods, the original design, which goes to show how much better Thomas Telford's design was of a fully iron aqueduct. The aqueduct was opened 1 month after Benjamin Outram's iron aqueduct of 44 feet on the Derby Canal, which was the first iron aqueduct in the world. So here we are, we made it to Longdon-on-Tern Aqueduct, which is the oldest surviving iron aqueduct in the whole entire world. Built in 1796. It's still standing today, albeit a bit rusty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not quite as grand as the Quantity Aqueduct.
Not quite, but it's great to see. It really is. Lovely.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is amazing that it's still here all these years later. And, yeah, as you can see, it's a bit different than the Pondside Aqueduct, whereas you're not level with the canal. This is the iron trough.
This is where the water would have been, in here. I suppose, yeah, if the water would be up though, Josh, wouldn't it? So you would be high.
It's very windy as well, the metalwork along, which is really weird. But I suppose that's what it's like back in the day.
Well, quite a way away, guys, so hopefully you can hear us.
If not, I'll voice it. But what an absolutely amazing sight this is.
And the sun's shining for us.
And if you're wondering, it's been a Grade 1 listed structure since the 30th of March 1971. This was Telford's prototype for the Pondside Aqueduct. The last boat to reach the aqueduct was in 1936. That means the last boat to go over this aqueduct was 86 years ago. Unfortunately, not a lot of the canal remains around the aqueduct. This is heading eastbound, where we come from. There used to be an aqueduct here as well, which has since gone. This is a little culvert, and the canal goes over the top through Roddington. Here's a random bridge in Roddington that acts as someone's garden wall, and with no signs of canal around it. You can just see signs of the old brickwork which used to go over this little valley here as an aqueduct. Quite a long in-water section here, but without a towpath it's hard to follow. So guys, we are at an in-water section of the Shrewsbury Canal finally. Well, a proper really nice one. This is this is near Berwick Tunnel. Berwick Wharf is just there. Berwick Tunnel is just down there. But this is absolutely glorious.
Yes,
now, isn't it?
lovely.
It's about 3:30 now.
Yes, quite late in the day now. We were out since about 10:30 this morning, I think.
No,
11?
11.
11:30,
Yeah.
sorry. Seems like longer.
I was getting
than that.
impatient because we need to do a lot. And I don't even know if we're going to make it to Shrewsbury today. But we're here, we're going to see Berwick Tunnel. Don't think we can go in, but we'll have a little nose. This is perhaps the best remaining example of the Shrewsbury Canal. A proper in-water section through a cutting with a lovely tunnel. On a lot of these restoration projects for canals, a lot of the tunnels have collapsed and it's a huge hurdle for the restoration group, but I'm not totally sure if Berwick Tunnel has. There's nothing online about it, so fingers crossed. I don't think it's collapsed. Write a comment if you saw our channel in the book. So we made it to Berwick Tunnel, which was built in 1797. And it goes 970 yards that way, west.
It's quite a way then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite long.
Yeah.
And the tunnel wasn't straight, so they had to come up with a system to see who had priority, because you couldn't see a boat coming the other way. So it was whoever was at the middle point had priority first, and they had a marker in there where the middle was. And it actually did have a towpath in there, which was made out of wood, a bit like a Broadway, but unfortunately that did actually rot, and in 1819 it had to be removed. So yeah, you would have been able to walk through there originally, but they didn't build it out of stone. For some reason they built it out of wood.
1797 writ on it, isn't it?
And yeah, we're not going to go to the other side. We're not going to the west porthole, because I think that's on private land. But this is an absolutely beautiful place, I think, to end this video.
Yes.
I'm going to cut this out if we don't end it here.
And we put a little, as you said, we put a little message in the book here.
Yeah.
So if anybody sees it, yeah, just let us know.
And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, brilliant. But a lovely day again.
There's not a lot to see of the Shrewsbury Canal. There's more to do with the Newport. But I think the Shrewsbury Canal's got more, more unique structures to it, like the aqueduct and the tunnel. But we haven't actually seen a lock today. We were going to go to a lock.
Haven't been any locks on there, have we?
No, we were going to go to a lock, but we didn't stop off there. We might stop off there on the way back, but it is on someone's private land. But there's a road bridge that goes over. We can just look over it without a lock. But thank you all for watching. Please like and
thank
subscribe.
You.
And thank you for checking out this 2-part series. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
As the light fades, we make one more trip to Uffington, near Shrewsbury, just to show you what the canal looks like when it's approached to Shrewsbury and the rest of the canal. It's mostly been concreted over and used now as a cycle and walk path. But what's good about this is it's preserved the route and nothing's been built over it except for the concrete path, which is nothing compared to replanning or rerouting the canal. And that is about it, guys. Unfortunately we ran out of time there, so we couldn't show you much more. But thank you. Bye for now.